Okay, Arun, it's all you.
Uh, well,
Yeah.
so me, well, one of my friends right here, me, her, and two of our other friends, we're always like, every Friday is kind of like what we're doing. We're just, doing like all these Zoom calls and stuff, talking about our scripts. And I thought, oh, okay. And we've been really, really consistent. So that just kind of gave me an idea. Like, okay, let's see if I can like write a show centered around that, where like our kind of day to day lives are, we deal with our own struggles or whatever hardships, and then on Fridays we kind of congregate and kind of our hangout spot is our Zoom calls on Fridays. So it's kind of like the coffee shop and Friends, or like the bar in How I Met Your Mother. So here it's a virtual hangout. So I thought it might be just something that's different from other shows where like the main characters, because of the quarantine and stuff, they're forced to meet online. Yeah. So I thought let's give it a try.
Sounds interesting.
All right, thanks, Arun. Yeah, it's a Arun original. He's back at it. So, Rohit, whenever you're ready.
Alrighty, guys. So we're reading today Zoom Buddies, written by Arun Sahu, Kerry Kenny, and Dennis Zen.
Woo!
Split screen with 3 screens. On the leftmost screen, Chris Lee lies asleep in bed. In the middle screen, Chelsea lies asleep in bed. On the rightmost screens, Raj Aryan is asleep in bed.
Pause for a second. Sorry, Candace showed up.
There is a background noise somewhere
Yes, it is.
again.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I hear it too. I don't know if it's me.
Hello.
My mic is switched off, so I don't think it's me.
Hi, Candace.
I
Hey,
don't think it's
Candace.
me. Hello.
So then Candace will just do those roles. So I guess Sandra, you're off the hook.
Yeah, Sandra, you're off the hook. All right, Candace, you got the script up? We're on recording.
Sorry, so I'm not playing Amy or Mother today, right?
No, you're good.
Just listening. Cool.
Everybody ready?
Turn my mic off. Maybe that'll.
Okay, Rohit, whenever you're ready.
Randy, can you mute yourself for a second?
Yeah.
Can somebody talk and say something?
Yes.
It is Randy's background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you, Randy.
All right, you're gonna have to stay muted for this. He leaves. Okay, you can unmute yourself afterwards, Frank. Oh.
I don't want to say nothing. I ain't got nothing to say. All right, go ahead. Whenever you're ready, Rohit.
All right, I'll start over. We're reading today Zoom Buddies, written by Arun Sahu, Kerry Kenny, and Dennis Zen. Split screen with 3 screens. On the leftmost screen, Chris Lee lies asleep in bed. In the middle screen, Chelsea lies asleep in bed. And on the rightmost screen, Raj Aryan is asleep in bed. Chris and Chelsea both wake up, alarm clocks, and get ready for work. Raj remains asleep in bed. As Chris and Chelsea head towards their front doors, Raj opens his eyes. He reaches for his phone and begins to watch a movie. He eventually falls asleep as we fade to title screen. Interior, Chris's workplace, front entrance. Chris punches in for work. He stands there, sleepy, waiting to be clocked in. The machine makes an unpleasant noise before releasing his card back to him. Chris yawns as he walks further into the building. Interior, Chris's workplace, desk. Chris takes a seat at his desk and switches on the computer. He starts to eat a banana, fighting to stay awake. Interior, Chelsea's workplace. Chelsea enter workplace and find clipboard cubicles set up over the room. Co-worker rushes over to Kari.
Printer's broke again. Can you take a look at it?
Kari sighs as she gets her stuff down. Interior, Raj's apartment bedroom. Raj wakes up, yawning. He registers where he is before reaching over to his phone and resuming the movie he started earlier. Interior, Chris's workplace desk. Chris's computer finishes starting up. As he brings up his email, he's blown away by how overloaded it is. He sighs as he clicks on the first one. Interior, Chelsea's workplace. Chelsea sits next to desk, typing something. She looks around. Everyone around her is engaged in her own tasks. Chelsea turns back to her computer. She exits out of the window she was in and brings up an actor's profile. She begins submitting him for acting jobs on website. Interior, Chris's workplace desk. Chris sits at his desk looking over a diagram. He has a ruler and a pencil out as he makes measurements. Chris's boss, male 50s, approaches him.
You have a minute, Chris?
Chris looks up.
Sure.
Chris's boss holds out a diagram that's different from the Chris is working on.
You mind giving us a once over, see if you can find any consistencies?
Chris frowns as he takes the diagram from Chris's boss.
Oh, I thought we were going with the other design.
No, I give it some thought, and this design serves his best interests.
Chris nods as he picks up the diagram he's working on and crumples it. Interior, Chelsea's workplace, supervisor office. Chelsea's supervisor, female 40s, looks through her desk for some files. She sighs and gets up and heads for the door. Interior, Chelsea's workplace. Chelsea's supervisor approaches Chelsea, who sits typing away at the computer. She approaches her from behind. As she gets closer, we see Chelsea entering data into a file.
Chelsea,
Chelsea turns around.
Yes, ma'am.
I seem to have misplaced some of my files.
I'll see what I can do.
I'll see what I can do.
Chelsea's supervisor heads back to her office. As soon as she's out of sight, Chelsea turns back to her computer screen. She exits her window and brings up Rod's actor profile. Interior, Rod's apartment living room. Raj lies face down, shirtless, getting a massage. He receives a text. He lifts his head up and looks at it.
Fuck.
Wrong.
That was my friend and manager. She's been trying to lock me down with an agent. Still on the fence.
For commercials and stuff?
Oh, I already have one for that. This would be for movies and TV shows.
Raj groans as he puts his head back down. Interior, Chris' workplace desk. Chris now has a large stack of papers on a desk as he works on the diagram his boss had given him. Chris's co-worker peeks his head into the cubicle.
Hey, you got a moment to look over this diagram?
Chris looks at him, then he looks at the pile on his desk. Then he turns back to his co-worker.
Sure.
Chris's co-worker places another diagram on his desk.
Thanks.
Chris's co-worker leaves. Interior, Chris's workplace. Chris's boss walks through the office. He turns to another one of Chris's co-workers.
Have you seen Chris?
Interior, Chris's workplace, front entrance. Chris quickly punches out and rushes to the parking lot. Exterior, Chris's workplace, parking lot, night. Chris's car heads for the exit. Interior, Chris's car. As Chris is about to enter onto the streets, there is a knock on his window. Chris turns to see his boss standing there with the diagram. Chris sighs as he lowers the window.
We're going with the first design.
Chris's boss hands him the diagram.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Chris sits there in disbelief. There is a honk. Chris lowers the window and resumes driving. Interior, train. Chelsea, tired, sits on the train. Her phone rings. She looks at it before answering.
Hey, Danita.
Hey, Kari, how are you?
Just heading home. Are you able to hear me? I'm on the train, so I've got my mask on.
I can hear you just fine. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you.
Not at all.
So I was looking at Raj's IMDb. His star meter's just too high right now.
I don't get it. It was in the 100,000s for a week.
I don't know. It can jump around like that sometimes.
Chelsea looks disappointed. Exterior, restaurant, day. Rod sits at the table outside a restaurant, typing away on his laptop. He has a beer beside him. His phone rings. It's Chelsea.
Hey, Chelsea.
Interior, Chelsea's workplace. Chelsea holds the phone close to her ear, looking around to see if her supervisor is near.
I have good news. You have a theatrical agent.
Some of the co-workers turn. Chelsea mouths sorry. Exterior, restaurant, day. Rod smiles. He holds his empty beer out to the passing waiter.
Hey, can I get another one of those?
Raj turns back to his phone.
That's awesome. Danita finally came around?
Interior, Chelsea's workplace.
No, your IMDb star meter was too high. I'd been submitting you to other agencies. This is Teal Talent Agency.
Exterior, restaurant day. Raj looks annoyed.
She didn't have to string us along this whole time. But this is great news. Lunch is on me.
Interior, Chelsea's workplace.
Yes, you'll be there for my Zoom birthday party, right?
Of course.
See you then.
Chelsea see her supervisor step out of her office.
Gotta run.
Exterior, Chris's house, evening. Chris walks towards his car with a backpack. Interior, train. Chelsea rides the train home listening to music. Interior, bus. Raj is on the bus texting. A close-up of his phone shows a message. Jake's gonna spend the weekend with his dad, waiting for him to pick him up. Exterior, Staples Center, night. Raj stands at Staples Center, which is mostly empty as he waits. Jasmine's car approaches him. Raj smiles as he waves over her. Interior, Jasmine's car. Jasmine sits behind the wheel driving. Raj sits beside her.
Sorry I'm so late.
All good. That's a cute dress.
Raj gently places his hand over her thigh. Jasmine reaches for Raj's hand and removes it.
It's not a dress.
Oh.
So did you sign up for that speed dating?
Oh, I was having trouble with the link.
Okay, I'll help you when we get home. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Raj looks away.
Yeah.
Jasmine looks at him.
It's something I would want to do even if we're a couple.
Raj turns to her.
Really?
How's the movie?
My friend should be done editing it soon. How's Yolanda?
Jasmine laughs.
My mom's all right. She'll be working late today.
Raj smiles as he puts his hand back on Jasmine's leg. Jasmine removes it again.
In fact, that reminds me.
Jasmine reaches for her phone and records a text.
Hey Mom, can you pick up some milk on the way home?
The text gets recorded. Raj leans in towards the phone.
Thanks, love you, bye.
Raj starts laughing uncontrollably. Jasmine shoots him a look. Raj composes himself.
Did that part get recorded?
Raj continues laughing as Jasmine shakes her head, turning back to the road. Exterior, Jasmine's house, night. Jasmine's car pulls up to the driveway. Raj follows Jasmine into the house. Interior, Jasmine's house, living room. Jasmine sets her things down on the table. Raj stands there watching her.
Can I at least give you a hug?
Raj gently pulls Jasmine into a hug. He then gives her a kiss on the neck. He follows it with a kiss on the cheek. He then kisses her on the lips. Jasmine squeezes Raj as they kiss. Raj then falls backward onto the ground, pulling Jasmine towards on top of him. Jasmine, lying on top of Raj on the ground, breaks away from him and look that her guard is lowered. They look into each other's eyes.
Did that scare you?
A little bit.
Raj holds her tight.
You want me to do that thing you like?
Don't ask, just do it.
Raj smiles as he pulls Jasmine into a kiss. Interior, Chris's car. Chris sits behind the wheel. He looks exhausted from work. Interior, Chris's parents' house, living room. Chris's mother, female, 60s, Asian, brings him a cup of tea as Chris collapses onto the couch.
Long drive?
Long week.
Chris looks around.
Dad asleep?
Yes, he is. Don't worry. He has the whole long weekend off.
Great.
Interior, Jasmine's house, bedroom. Raj and Jasmine take down the bulletin board hanging on the wall to see it aside.
So, you're turning your bedroom into a classroom?
What choice do I have? Everything's virtual now.
Jasmine begins to measure sections on the wall, making certain spots with tape. Raj pulls a chair close to the wall and sits on it. As Jasmine sets down a piece of tape on the wall, Raj pulls her into his lap. He then pulls her into a kiss. Jasmine puts her hand on his shoulders and she gives in. Jasmine then slowly breaks away.
What has gotten into you?
Nothing. I just really missed you.
Do you kiss your other friends like this when you haven't seen them in a while? In a long time?
Raj thinks for a moment.
Yeah.
Interior, Jasmine's house, bedroom. Jasmine stands in the corner reading something on her tablet. Raj takes off his pants. Jasmine looks up from the tablet.
You can either sleep on the ground or on the couch in the living room.
Raj collapses onto the bed.
Screw that. I'm sleeping here.
Fine, but put your head on the other side.
Raj groans as he takes the pillow and moves it to the other end of the bed. Jasmine crawls into bed, the top of her body by Raj's legs. She continues to browse through the laptop for a few moments as Raj tries to sleep.
This is stupid.
Raj takes the pillow and places it back in its original place. He sets it down a few inches from Jasmine, closes his eyes. Jasmine continues to read through her iPad. Raj opens his eyes.
Can I switch off the lights?
Jasmine nods. Raj reaches to the switch and flips the light off. Raj then closes his eyes. Jasmine browses through the iPad for a few more moments before putting it away. She then turns away from Raj, closing her eyes. It's dark except for the street light shining in. Raj opens his eyes and looks at Jasmine, who's turned away from him. Raj leans over and kisses her on the cheek. Jasmine quickly turns around, facing him in the dark.
Why do you want to kiss me?
Because you're beautiful.
Is that your only reason?
Raj can't think of a reason. Jasmine comes closer and makes her way on top of him, looking down at him.
I keep thinking you're only with me because you can't find someone else.
Raj thinks to himself. Jasmine rests her head comfortably on his chest. Interior, Chelsea studio apartment. Chelsea lies asleep in the bed. Her phone rings. Chelsea, eyes still closed, reaches for the phone. She puts it to her ear.
Hello?
Hi, is this Chelsea?
Chelsea slowly opens her eyes.
Yes, it is. May I know who I'm speaking to?
This is Amy. Danita may have mentioned me.
Chelsea sits up.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Amy laughs in a friendly manner.
Sorry if I'm calling early. The weekend got away from me.
Not at all.
Well, Danita told me some great things about you. You seem to work really hard for your clients.
Oh, well, a lot of them are friends I made back when I was active.
We're looking to hire new managers. I'd love to set up an interview this week, perhaps Wednesday morning.
Tuesday could work better.
I can make Tuesday work. I'll talk to you then. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Chelsea hangs up. She smiles to herself. She looks at her cat.
Happy birthday to me.
Interior, Jasmine's house, bedroom, morning. Raj and Jasmine are having sex. Raj looks tired. Jasmine is on top of him.
Why is it taking you so long?
Oh, I already came.
What?
Jasmine jumps off him and runs into the bathroom. The water can be heard running. Raj laughs.
What, you didn't feel wet down there?
Jasmine sticks her head out.
I thought it was me.
Jasmine disappears again.
Oh, so you came too.
Jasmine appears again, slipping into a pair of shorts as she walks towards Raj.
Girls can get wet without coming.
Really?
Raj, now seated at the edge of the bed, pulls Jasmine on his lap. They start kissing. Exterior, Jasmine's house, day. Yolanda, female, 60s African-American, steps out of a car parked in the driveway behind Jasmine's. She heads into the house. Interior, Jasmine's house, living room. Yolanda enters the house. She hears sound coming from Jasmine's bedroom. She walks towards it. We're cut into interior, Jasmine's house, bedroom. Raj, dressed, stands at the wall painting. Jasmine sits at the end of the phone, iPad in her hand. Yolanda peeks her head in. Raj looks away from the wall, smiling.
Hi.
Hello.
Just helping Jasmine paint this wall.
Okay.
Yolanda leaves. Raj looks over at Jasmine, grinding.
Oh, I don't think that'll fit in my bag yet. Thanks.
A little paint drops on the floor. Raj looks over to see if Jasmine notices. He covers the spot with a newspaper. Jasmine hangs up. She walks over to the wall.
You don't know how to paint, do you?
I never said I did.
Let's trade.
Jasmine takes the paintbrush and hands Raj the iPad.
You're trying to get a water slide for Jake's party?
Yeah, gotta find one less than 20 feet long.
Okay.
Raj walks over to the bed and takes out his phone. As he dials the next phone number on the iPad, he sees portrait of Jasmine with her son. She looks younger. Raj picks up the portrait.
Is Jake like 3 in this?
Jasmine, staring at the paint, looks over.
Oh,
Raj glances back and forth between the portrait and Jasmine.
You look really beautiful here.
Jasmine tries not to smile.
What happened?
Jasmine flips off Raj as he starts to paint. Raj laughs.
Hello.
Raj speaks into the phone.
Hi, I'm trying to rent a water slide for a birthday party next weekend. Do you have any under 25 feet?
Where are you located?
Pasadena.
As in California? We're based in Florida.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that.
Raj hangs up as Jasmine takes a sip from her water bottle. She then pours a little into the cap. Raj looks up.
That place wasn't even in...
Jasmine splashes Raj with the water. Raj looks at her.
Okay. Oh, by the way, it's my friend's birthday today, so she's doing a Zoom thing at like 4?
we're going to spend the whole day with him.
You can join us. We'll just be playing games.
Jasmine turns back to the wall.
So why don't you date her?
Raj dials the next number on the list. He looks at her.
Who? Chelsea? She's a lesbian.
Raj puts the phone to his ear. Interior, Chelsea's studio apartment. Chelsea sits at her computer with her cat on her lap. The Zoom app can be seen on her screen. A message reading Raj waiting appears. She clicks on it. Raj appears.
Hey,
Hey, Raj.
happy birthday.
Thank you. So, looks like your new agent already got you an audition.
Raj sighs as he looks around before turning back to the screen.
I missed it. Been helping Jasmine with some stuff. Hopefully they don't ask me for it.
You'll be fine.
Chelsea's other friend starts to appear. Interior, Jasmine's house, living room. Raj sits on the couch playing a game on Jasmine's computer. Jasmine, looking fresh, appears. She walks over to Raj and puts her arms around him. Raj is focused on the game. She gives him a kiss on the cheek. Raj doesn't look up. Jasmine then walks over to her other computer. Exterior, Chris's apartment, Chris's parents' house, backyard day. Chris and Susie, female, 30s, sister, Asian, stands in the corner of the backyard with the plate of food in their hands. Their parents mingle with the guests.
You do any fun projects lately?
Yeah, actually, remember Raj from middle school?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, me, him, and a couple of friends of ours made a movie. It's being edited right now.
That's awesome. And what is it about?
Before Chris can answer,
Come here, Chris.
Chris looks at Susie, who holds back a smile before heading over.
Yes, Dad.
Chris's father stands beside a guest, male, 60s, Asian.
This is an old friend of the family's.
Chris shakes hands with the guest.
So, what do you do?
Before Chris can answer,
He's an engineer.
guest looks impressed.
That's wonderful. Where do you work?
This small company in Los Angeles. He helps design toilets.
Susie spits out her drink, laughing.
Faucets, Dad. We design faucets.
My company is looking for engineers with fresh ideas. Are you open to relocating?
Chris's father beams.
You're offering him a job? Wow.
Chris's father turns to Chris.
Can you believe that, Chris?
Chris looks overwhelmed as his father turns back to the guest.
I'm assuming he'll have his interview first. How soon can we get one set up?
I'll check with the hiring team.
Guest turns to Chris.
How long are you in town for, Chris?
Oh, he'll be here the entire long weekend. I'll go print his resume right now.
Chris's father heads into the house. Chris looks at Susie, who has no idea what to do. Chris turns to the guest.
Excuse me.
Chris catches up to his father just outside the patio door leading into the kitchen.
Dad, I'm not going to take the job.
But your mom told me how much you hate your job right now.
That doesn't mean I want to quit and leave LA.
Why do you want to stay in LA so badly?
We've had this conversation a million times, Dad.
I know you want to be an actor, but you've been in LA for almost 5 years now. Isn't it time you put your focus on something else? Like a proper career and maybe one day a family?
Chris doesn't say anything. Chris's father turns into the house. Before he can enter, the patio door slides shut. Some of the guests turn. Chris's hand is on the door.
I'm not going to take the job.
Chris, I'm just trying to help you make good decisions.
And I'm trying to help you save ink.
Susie's eyes go wide. She starts clapping. She stops as people look at her. Chris and his father both look embarrassed. Interior Jasmine's house, living room. Jasmine sits at the computer eating an ice cream cone. She receives a text. It's from Raj. I'm hungry. Interior Jasmine's house, bedroom. Jasmine's into the bedroom. It's empty. She walks over to her son's adjoining bedroom. Interior Jasmine's house, Jake's bedroom. Jasmine enters to find Raj lying in Jake's bed watching a movie on his phone. There are toys on the ground and the AC is running.
Why don't you take a quick shower before we eat? Get out of that sweaty shirt.
Cut to interior Jasmine's house bedroom. Raj follows Jasmine into her bedroom. Raj takes off his shirt as Jasmine digs through the closet. Raj uses his shirt to towel snap Jasmine's butt.
This is the only shirt I have.
Jasmine turns away from the closet and tosses a shirt to Raj.
Is this Jake's or an ex's?
You think I would give you an X shirt?
Raj smiles as he pulls Jasmine into another kiss. Interior Jasmine's house, living room. Jasmine grabs her phone, keys, purse from the living room. Raj appears from the bedroom in a super tight t-shirt.
I'm not wearing this.
You look fine. We gotta go.
Why does Jake have to have such a long ass shirt?
He wanted. I'm just waiting for him to grow into it. Come on.
Raj follows Jasmine to the door. Exterior Jasmine's house, night. Raj walks while putting his shoes on. Jasmine slaps his butt, ushering him to the car. Interior Jasmine's car. Jasmine sits behind the wheel. Raj sits in the passenger seat, looking out the window.
God, it's way too hot for September.
Complaining about it isn't gonna do anything.
Raj turns away from the window.
That's how I met you.
Jasmine turns.
I just tell the universe what I want, and it gives it to me.
Raj suddenly puts a hand to his head.
What's wrong?
My head's spinning. I haven't eaten anything all day.
Jasmine waves it away.
You had some fruit.
Raj looks at her. Exterior In-N-Out Burger, night. Jasmine cars pull up to the long line formed outside In-N-Out. Interior Jasmine's car. Jasmine sings along to a song playing super loud. Raj continues watching his movie. He turns to the radio and gently lowers the volume.
You trying to go deaf?
Raj hands Jasmine a debit card.
Use this.
Jasmine sets it down without looking at it. An In-N-Out waitress, female, 20s, pretty, approaches to the window. Raj checks her out as they order. Interior Jasmine's car. Jasmine and Raj eat the fries as she drives.
Oh, that's my ex's house.
The medical student?
No, another one.
Raj doesn't look pleased. Interior garage. Jasmine car pulls into the garage with an electric charging station. Jasmine gets out and looks at her car. She then grabs her burger from the car and sits down on the curb. Raj, finishing his own burger, stands a few feet away from her.
Why are you single?
Raj shrugs.
Everything okay?
Jasmine takes a bite out of her burger.
I have a million things to do for my new job. I still haven't found a slide for Jake's birthday. I still need to find a place of my own. And now I'm eating this burger to be rebellious.
Raj looks at her.
Do you think I stress out too much?
You have a lot of things on your plate.
Answer the question.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Interior Jasmine's car. The music is being played loud.
You know, you're a lot like my mom.
Jasmine ignores him as she sings along with the song.
In fact, she also ignores me and starts singing or humming something.
Maybe you're the type of person people do that to.
Raj looks at her.
My friends don't.
They ride in silence. Raj looks at her.
I don't go for all this passive-aggressive crap, all right?
Jasmine doesn't say anything. Raj leans back and closes his eyes. The music continues playing loudly. Raj opens his eyes and reaches for the volume control.
Can you lower this fucking thing?
Raj lowers the volume. Jasmine quickly raises it.
You don't care that this hurts my ears?
Jasmine shakes her head. Raj doesn't say anything. The car stops at a red light. They sit in silence, waiting for the light to turn green. Jasmine then reaches over and makes the music even louder.
You fucking bitch!
Exterior street, night. The light turns green. The car doesn't move. It then makes a U-turn. Interior, Jasmine's car. Jasmine's demeanor completely changes.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Let's just go back to your place.
No, it's getting late.
Jasmine brings up the GPS on her phone.
Can you enter your address?
Raj does so without saying anything. Exterior, Raj's apartment, night. Jasmine's car pulls up to Raj's apartment. Interior, Jasmine's car. Jasmine turns to Raj.
Can I have the shirt back?
My shirt's at your place.
You can go and change. I'll wait.
Let me just return it next time.
Jasmine holds her tears back.
I need it.
Raj takes off the shirt and places it in the back seat. Raj, now shirtless, turns to Jasmine, who stares into the distance.
Come on. Let's just go back to your place. I'll take an Uber back.
No, it's late.
Look, I was seeing red when I said that. When I said what I said. You can't just use me as an emotional punching bag. That's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for me.
Jasmine looks away, not saying anything.
So what? You want to take a break or you want to just...
Raj can't bring himself to finish the sentence.
All right. Maybe I'll talk to you later.
Raj gets out of the car. Exterior, Raj's apartment, night. Raj stands on the street, shirtless, as Jasmine drives away. He heads to his place. Interior, Raj's apartment, bedroom. Raj enters the bedroom, slips out of his pants, and collapses onto his bed. He stares at the ceiling. Exterior, Chris's parents' house, day. Chris gives Susie, his father, and his mother hugs as he gets ready to drive back to LA. Interior, Chelsea's studio apartment. Chelsea sits at the computer. Amy, female 40s, is on the screen.
Welcome to the team.
Chelsea smiles. Interior, Raj's apartment, bedroom. Raj lies in bed staring at the ceiling. His eyes are red. Interior, Chelsea's apartment. Chelsea sits at her computer. Raj is on the screen. Chelsea.
How are you holding up?
I'm okay.
Chris appears.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, happy birthday. Sorry I couldn't make your thing.
No worries.
Raj groans sarcastically.
And that's my cue to leave.
Chris and Chelsea laugh as Raj steps out of the room.
So you guys go way back, huh?
Yeah, we met in the 7th grade.
You guys ever fight?
Not really.
Raj reappears with a beer.
Oh God. He used to do this thing that got on my nerves. Like, I'd be telling him something and he'd be like, uh-huh, yeah, oh, before I'd even finish talking.
Chris laughs. Natalie, female 30s, Latina appears.
Natalie,
Hey guys, long time no see.
welcome back.
Thanks.
Great. Now that we're all here, I've got something for you.
Raj shares a file with them as their faces go off to the side.
Ready?
Everybody gives the affirmative. Raj hits play.
Yay.
All right, guys. Yeah, good job, good job, good job.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
This was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Let's talk about it. Let's open the floor.
You know, as a narrator,
write episode 2.
Yeah, sorry,
I
Roy.
have,
Oh,
as a
there's a second
narrator, I have to
episode?
say, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That, you know how we have this little small narration in between that he does this, she does that, da 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 da. I mean, I know we have talked about it before where, you know, we've agreed that we're going to read everything, but I think this is one of those scripts where all those single lines, if we could have not read it, I mean, right now, I don't know if anybody agrees or not, but there was a disconnection in between the characters while playing into a scene. Although the hopping from scene to scene was good, that back and forth, you know, all three going simultaneously. I think if we, you know, actually do it as a shoot, it'll be really fun when edited. But just for the read part of it, I think it felt a bit disconnected between the characters because of those short lines.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's always kind of been the
That's
maybe I should, like, from now on, all the writers should have like 2 versions of the script, like one that they'll actually use and just one for strictly for table reads or something.
But I loved the 3 simultaneous scenes, you know, like that. It was, I think, very, very catchy. It was pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you. That's
Yeah, I think like going off of what you just said, like normally you can tell like, oh, it's gonna be a minute for a page, but it seemed like the formatting was a little, like, the script is good. I'm just saying, like, the formatting, it kind of seemed like a lot longer than it actually is, just because there's so many spaces. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
There's so much narration into it.
Well, I'm hoping it's not. 'Cause a lot of times, like, comedy shows should be between 20 to 30 pages. So I'm actually hoping you're right, because I feel like 35 minutes might be a little too long for like a comedy. So I'm hoping it's shorter than what.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like, yeah, you don't need to, like, the stage directions, you don't have to, like, put so many, like, skip a line for each thing. They can all be, like, together and stuff like that.
True. I'm actually I gotta retype this in Celtics anyways. This is Google Docs, so
yeah.
With the Celtics, hopefully the formatting will be automatic and stuff. I was typing
your vision, Arun, is this one is a full-blown comedy, or is it kind of like a dramatic or something?
Maybe like a comedy with some dramatic moments. I think episode 1 is just super dramatic, just to kind of get them started on their path, and then the next episodes will be a lot more lighter moving forward. So do you think that's misleading?
No, I guess, but it makes sense because you're saying if this is the first episode, because that's establishing everybody's relationship and all that stuff. Of course, with Raj and Jasmine, all that stuff, that can create a good overwhelming comedy, you know, to have that little monotony break into it. You know, when you bring Raj and Jasmine, of course, Raj is just, no offense, I'm just going to say it like the script says. I mean, he's just a, you know, simple hound dog right there. That's really about it. And of course, Jasmine is, you know, so I think they can have a lot more like good, sensual, funny moments into it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, moving forward, I've already started episode 2, but I think we'll get to see Natalie's character more. That's loosely based on Sandra, and that's why I asked her to join us. Raj is going to be just dealing with this, like he's going to be just mopey in the next few episodes. Chris is going to be like fresh off of like, okay, I stood up to my dad, now what? And Chelsea is now her workload is just going to pick up now that she works for this talent agency. Now she's gonna like, and she's still gonna have her day job. So now, like, I'm still trying to figure out where I'm gonna go with her. That's a conversation I'm having with the person that Chelsea's based on, but she has to balance all this stuff now moving forward. So I'm just trying to like up the ante for everyone moving forward. So
all these characters, you know these characters, and that's what you have based upon all this stuff.
Correct.
So that's a good way to kind of, you know, go for it, because you can get the insights from all these characters. That's good.
Yeah, so I kind of play like the role of like the investigative journalist, like asking them, hey, what was going through your mind when you did this? And Because at the same time, we do want to entertain, but I just like the challenge of trying to keep things close to the truth if possible, without offending anyone or because I have tons of other stuff that's fictional. So I thought, okay, with this one, I want to see how non-fictional I can keep it. So Candace, eventually there'll be a character based on you too, because I want to show the part where we're filming Tuna Boat. So maybe you can play yourself if it becomes a thing.
How funny is that? Okay.
Oh yeah. But yeah, can I just say, Donnell, I was really cracking up at the end because you did a really good impression of what I would have done of my friend. So when I was teasing him at the end, yeah, that was so that was but yeah, no, everyone I think did a pretty good job. These characters they're real people, so I think the fact that everyone acted naturally and stuff was.
I mean, Raj was very relatable. Like I can definitely, I've been there, so it's super relatable. Definitely.
I'd like to think that this is something that a lot of people can relate to, and that's why I'm doing this. Like it's, yeah. I think I could tell from you performing him. I could feel like maybe you've been through something similar.
Yeah, no, you did a great job with that. You did a great job with Raj.
Oh, thank you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I was actually gonna ask for like an acting thing as well, because I feel like this is a lot more than we usually read, I felt, or at least for me, I guess. But this was really one of the more in-depth scripts I feel like we've done. Like this is a really.
If I did have a chance to talk to you, I would have just told you to just be like loose and relaxed and just have fun with it, which is what you were doing anyway. So.
I would say script-wise, the only thing I can think of is that the three, although you've established their relationship, Chelsea, Chris, and Raj, there's not, especially for a comedy, like if you say this is mainly a comedy, there's not a lot of chemistry between them, like even slight banter. I don't know what they're like to each other. Jasmine felt more like a main character than Chris or Chelsea did to me. I mean, maybe because I was reading Raj, but she seemed to play a very centric role. So it was kind of strange that it ended without her almost. Yeah. So maybe focus more on Chris and Chelsea a little bit, because Raj, as much as I relate to Raj, he does kind of like hog up a lot of space, I feel.
See, and that's what I was kind of, and that's what I wanted to like, hoping I wouldn't hear. And that's kind of what my fear was, that maybe this might be too Raj centric. So I am working on rewrites right now. And I do want Chelsea and Chris to feel strong as well. And then in episode 2, we'll see more of them together. So it's kind of like a tease, like, ooh, at the same time, like is that?
I mean, they still had strong characterization, but if you wanted, because you described the beginning, you began the script read with, oh, this is the coffee shop, this is the bar.
Yeah.
I was expecting that to be the anchor, and it wasn't, which I mean isn't a bad thing, but if that was what you're going for, I didn't get.
I'm hoping it's more of a tease. That's what I'm really, really like. Obviously, you never know what someone's gonna be thinking while watching it, but my hope is that when they're watching this, they're gonna be like, ooh, we want to see more of that. So.
I mean, yeah, I definitely wanted to see more of that. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, episode two. Whenever I do finish writing it, you will see more of that. That's what I'm going for. If it works, we'll know. Who knows?
I have a kind of logistics question. So in a non-COVID environment, would this be something you would want to like get people together that are like around your area to like actually perform and film this, or like what are like, do these usually just stay as like table reads?
Oh no, absolutely. I would love to film it at some point. I mean, this is probably one of those things where like I'd want like full creative control, like with the other people I'm writing this with, and not like a studio taking it and making something else out of it. Like, so this is something I'd probably want to hold on to and maybe sell something else and try to develop a name for myself. And but yeah, ultimately I would want to film it. Yeah, totally. And hopefully COVID, that situation improves.
Yeah.
So. By the way, I did like your reading of Chris as well. I can actually see you in the role. That's
thank you, I appreciate it.
What's your background, if you don't mind my asking? I'm sure you got asked this.
Background.
Ethnically.
Latino, Mexican.
Okay.
But I get like mixed all the time. People think I'm Filipino or some sort of.
Yeah. Especially with Zoom.
I hear that
in person. Yeah. I'm sure Donnell, you've probably gone through it as well. Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm Filipino. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, with that long hair, man.
But that's so right now I'm working on episode 2. I don't think it'll be done anytime soon because I'm kind of getting some writer's block right now. I haven't done.
I really like the way you write characters' relationships though. Like it could be very like, even though like, let's say Chris and his dad, near the end of their conversation, it was no longer subtle what was happening. But before it even got to that confrontation, like you knew what was going to happen. The way they spoke to each other and other people around them gave it away, just like Jasmine and Raj. Like I think it was really well done. You can tell the relationships were established before the characters started talking, like at least a lot.
Wow, cool. No, awesome. Thank you. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Yeah, like I said, Chris is also based on a friend of mine, and me and him have had. In fact, I know the guy that's based on, so I know him personally. I haven't seen him in years, so that's where I took a little bit of artistic license. But I know their relationship as well, and that's like, I have that conversation with them, like, let's talk about this. How much are you comfortable sharing and stuff? And he's already given me like notes on what I can change dialogue wise. So it's all coming from a real place. This is his story.
Yeah, very classic, like tiger parents of friends of mine and just other different kind of family dynamics. How they just very pull and just kind of push their kids a little too much sometimes.
That's a very I'm sure you can probably relate to that. Being Indian, all of us, our parents, they have what they expect from us, and they're gonna do everything they can to get that, unless we start, saying no or something.
I think it's a story of probably most of the Asian families. Asian families.
Totally.
Totally.
Especially in America. Yeah, it's whether that or not Asian, consider yourself lucky that you don't have to deal with that specifically. And I'm sure everyone has their own kind of cross to bear and stuff, but that specific thing is I feel like very.
I mean, Chinese can confirm it's a little rough.
Well, and that's the thing. Chris is based on my friend who's Chinese. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, it's definitely.
Wait, so who's Raj based on, Arun? That's what I'm curious about right here.
Yeah, I was wondering if somebody's gonna act.
Raj is 100% fictional. I made that character.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that's everyone else is real. Raj is not real.
What about Jasmine?
So if you guys must know, Raj.
Whoa! That was quite a pause after asking who Jasmine was.
This is where it gets kind of like,
You'll never know.
But part of it is like scary, it's like, oh, it's a cool story, but at the same time, it's like, oh shit, how much am I putting out there? So it was a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I won't say nervous, but like something around that where it's like, oh shit, like, because when it's a fictional story, you can do whatever the hell you want, but when it's like real, it's like, oh shit, it's like, so yeah, it's definitely.
Who asked who Jasmine was?
Choma. Choma.
It's a good question.
It's so she's based on somebody I know as well. And she's not getting a cent if I sell this. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, but Raj isn't based on anybody, guys. Raj isn't based on
Raj.
anybody.
Yeah, Raj. Everyone else is real. Raj is fake. Yeah, you conjure him out of thin air. So yeah.
He writes.
Choma
If you write Ken in there, we'll know, because he'll just be cussing all the time. Like that character.
Let's see a little animal.
Oh, with his iguana. Yeah.
Yeah. If he has an animal, oh, that's Ken. That's Ken.
So yeah, well, hey, listen, I appreciate everyone's notes. I probably won't do a rewrite anytime too soon, but definitely, keep that in mind when I do a draft 2. Right now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like, I haven't been very productive at all since the second lockdown. I've just barely done anything, like outside of this table read, really. It's,
Hey, you know what they say, things get worse before they get better, right? So I think we are in worse, so we're heading for the betterment right there.
I hope so. That's what they say, right? When you're down on the bottom, there's no way to go but up. So that's what I'm hoping is that the deal is. So yeah.
It's a good concept. I do like it. I think it has a lot of potential. You're a good writer anyways,
Thank you.
We all I think enjoy your writing. And of course there is always little tweaks here and there based upon the needs, but you're absolutely
everything's a work in progress always. It's always,
and I think if you keep the control of the creativity onto it, and as you said, not give it out to somebody to turn it something else, because it happens all the time, right? It happens all the time, and your vision just completely goes down the drain.
Especially
I think it'll be
no reputation yet. So that's why I think my next goal is to write something that I don't care about. it still has to be good. So it's like I kind of have to care about it for it to be good, but then I have to stop caring about it after I sell it. So that's I think where my mind is. So it's
So in this script, obviously Raj is a, of course, an Indian character. We've got him as an Asian character. What is Jasmine in this?
well, she's okay. So her character is done after this. She's African American.
African American. Okay.
And then Natalie is loosely based on Sandra, who's from Peru.
Okay.
Hi guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I feel like Natalie doesn't get much love in this episode, and that's kind of like, it's more of a question of length and stuff. So I was telling Sandra, episode 2 will start on a little funny scene with Natalie and people in her family. In fact, for Sandra, I've already written it, so I can't wait to send that to you.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You first.
I was gonna say, ironically, that's why you left just now, is to talk to your
Yeah, I had to say goodbye to some tiny people in my life. So I apologize, but I was trying to listen into everyone's note. I do have a quick note, Arun, though. I read this and then I got to hear everyone kind of, go through it. Would he flat out call her a fucking bitch, or would he just say what the fuck is wrong with you? Is that something that how is that like a Raj thing, or?
Well, I think that's what I was going for, is like this whole episode, you see this guy that's pretty calm and collected, and finally he gets pushed into the corner and he does something that even he doesn't think he would do,
Okay, so it is
it's
like
supposed to be something that's kind of uncharacteristic.
Cringy. Okay.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like, oh, this is the kind of, I hope not. I mean,
I think just because using that just guys calling women bitches in general has really gone down even more lately. It's even worse than it used to be.
Exactly.
So maybe change it, because it comes across as not only does he have anger management issues, it's also he's misogynistic to a point.
I want people to think that, actually.
Okay.
That's
well,
not, like I want you to kind of hate him. I want you to kind of hate him. And then hopefully
I definitely. Yeah, I definitely got that, especially the bed situation of kind of I'm switching into there's I'm not sleeping on the ground, I'm sleeping on the bed and I'm sleeping normal, really kind of just pushing. And I remember when John Animal, as soon as you read that, I was kind of wait, whoa, was a huge shock. I didn't expect that at all.
It's definitely entering dark territory, and that's what I'm saying. Episode 2 and onwards is probably gonna be way more lighthearted. So I feel like it might throw people out. I don't know. So I'm just really it's experimenting.
But Arun, if Raj is the main lead character into it, I mean, as audience perspective right there, I mean, he should be even though he may be, you want him to play a bad guy, but still as an audience, you want the audience to root for him because he's coming back. He's the lead, right? You don't want people to just completely flat out hate him and lose their interest that, I don't care if I see this character anymore. So somehow, I guess, something has to be converted into it where, although he's a bad guy, but he's still likable.
That's why I'm hoping everyone loves Chris a lot. That's why I have Chris in there, because
is Chris one of the main characters?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I'm actually working on rewrites on Chris's scene right now. I want Chris to be that good guy that keeps people. It's a little cheating there. Raj might be more central, but Chris is the one that I want everyone to love, because the guy he's based on is super awesome and everyone loves him. Right, Sandra?
He is. He's a wonderful person. So Raj is your anti-hero. That's kind of where and I know that you're pushing with 34 pages, but could it help? Because Rohit had a really good point that he can't be completely, detestable.
Yeah.
Is there a way to write in the scene where we see something that shows slightly better light, just to kind of get them
considering, because we were like Jordan said, everything's spaced out, so that could be why it hit the 34 range. But I was thinking the short that we filmed, I was thinking of putting that in the pilot as well. I just thought we're running out of time. So maybe that might show a better side of Raj, even though it's him inside a movie. So maybe that might not do the trick either. Let me brainstorm that. I mean, let me sit on that.
I don't think Raj needs to be written any nicer, because I see the vibe you're going for. He's supposed to kind of be like, oh, this chill guy. Like it looks like he has it all together, like he's comfortable with himself, but he's clearly not. He has a lot of issues. He pushes other people's boundaries. A lot of people think that he went a little too far. And I saw like some people in the chat, they're kind of just, because people don't outright say, oh, you fucking bitch, unless it's like really, really, and I don't think the car radio could push. I mean, it can, obviously anything can set someone off, but maybe just that line felt a little bit too far, I think.
Okay.
Too angry for what happened. I was kind of
What
like,
the
wait,
situation is.
were they, I mean, they weren't in that big of, I mean, it wasn't like some huge fight where you're screaming at each other and then that.
Yeah.
Unless we create something to attach to that, which has led him to that stuff.
Right.
Could you maybe, because you said that Jonathan, this was her first and only episode, right? We're not going to. Okay, so could you have her, for him to react that brash, could it be something that she says where she ends it, like she's the one that goes, you know what, sorry, I got too much on my plate, I'm not interested, it was just sex, it's not going to go anywhere, and that kind of cuts them off.
Something I was considering putting in the pilot that I kind of forgot about, she accuses him, like his dad, of cheating on his mom. Could that be something that might justify his reaction?
She accuses his dad of cheating on her mom.
Yeah, on his mom. His dad is like having an affair on his mom. Like she just says that, like, I just didn't know how to tackle that.
I mean, that's something personal that she could throw. I mean, if she throws that out there and all of a sudden he's stewing on it and then something else happens and he's already, then he gets really upset. That's one thing. But I think we all kind of felt like maybe it came out of, not out of nowhere, but it was a little harsh for what happened.
It was a little hard to see. She increased the music back and then it's quiet. And then she makes it even louder on top of, like, after increasing it. So I feel like that might have been something that might have been harder to see in the script. So I'm hoping, like, when it's actually filmed, it might be a little more obvious. Like, it's not like he did that immediately. It's just, she made the thing loud and then it's like, oh shit, she made it loud. And then just to see like how he would react, she made it even louder on top of that. Like she increased it even further, if that makes sense. So it was like a level, it was like maybe at a level 8 at that.
It was definitely out of spite, but I feel like a lot of us would feel like it's almost justified because it's her car. She's clearly wants to push him and she's barely pushing him. All she's doing is playing with the volume. He's done so much to her already. Like he's pushed so many boundaries. We're kind of on her side when she's putting up the volume. Because it's like, or at least I thought that. I thought I was on her side. I was like, dude, it's her car. You've kind of been an ass this whole time. And then you're going to call her a bit like, bro, like you're really coming at her for no reason, That's what it felt like to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
For thought.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, yeah, I was trying to play that in my mind. I think, sorry?
Oh, no, go ahead, Edgar. And after Edgar, then Ken wants to say something.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was going to say, yeah, I was trying to like think that out, like how that would realistically go in my mind. And I was like, thinking, maybe a line might be more of like you can be such a bitch sometimes, maybe something like that, rather than just like immediately jumping to you fucking bitch, but like saying it like in a really snarky way and then realizing, oh shoot, he actually overstepped, and then that's when he starts to feel that kind of like remorse.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So it's like it's still the same dialogue, but like his attitude is a little different. Like he's almost like, okay. I think I get it. Is that kind of what okay.
Yeah, because he calls her out on like the passive aggressiveness, but like he's kind of like shoving that attitude back behind like you can be such a bitch sometimes, and like turning it off and then realizing like, oh shoot, like okay, like let me do some damage control.
Okay.
But I think what he's going for is she breaks up with him, yes, but he does it to himself. I think that's why he wants an outburst. Maybe just him saying like, what's your fucking problem? Like, what's your deal?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Because clearly she doesn't even break up with him. She's just like, all right, well, give me back my shirt. She doesn't even say it. And he knows what happened because he did it to himself. And I really like that. I like that she doesn't outright say, I'm breaking up with you, we're done. She's just like, clearly, this ain't working.
I need the
and
shirt
I'm gone.
back. Yeah, like
it's
that.
over.
I need the shirt back. I'm not seeing you again.
Hey, Arun, could you just elongate the dialogue then? So kind of piggybacking what Edgar said about like the comment could just be like, God, you can be such a fucking bitch sometimes, and then that causes her to respond, and then you have this very petty argument between two people. Where have you ever been in those situations where like the couple, the one person is always, they have to be right. They can't let it go. They always want to have the very last word in the argument. Let that be Raj, where she's just like, look, you need to calm down. And he's like, no, I want to talk about it. And he just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing.
Okay.
And that may go well with what you were saying, Donald, or how, at the end, you're right. Like, she doesn't say flat out, you know what, it's not working. She's just like, I want my shirt back. What's your address? It's kind of all, we get it, but maybe have him be that guy. That guy who's like, I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to nag about it until you literally until you push me away.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what he does.
Yeah.
But just judging from the script, are they, as Donald was saying that she didn't break up, but I get the feeling they're not even really together, are they?
Right.
No.
They've just been spending a lot of time together. It was never official. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess somehow that relationship history or some background history has to be or should be created just to kind of get the feel of where this is headed.
Yeah.
Where
I had a feeling someone was going to say something along the lines of that. Yeah. These were like the discussion points I was anticipating that. So it's
because
cool,
as of
I
right
felt it
now,
was very
Raj,
clear. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, Raj just comes out as if he's an actor. He's I won't say fully established, but he's on the path to be established.
That's the idea. He's not established. He's definitely not established.
Exactly. So
I'll be messing around with a single mother if he was established.
Exactly. So typically, if you look into reality part of it, when somebody starts to get established and they start getting some good stuff, they get automatically a little bit overconfident and cocky, right?
Yes, exactly.
So he's probably just out there saying that, hey, I'm good at what you've got, some kind of some history behind that, where why is he into Jasmine, or what led him to do this, and then what led him to really be sorry about it, like what did he realize, so their history has to be built up right there. Because he doesn't want to lose her either, so, and they are not together either, so it's kind of one of the things with the script. It just looks like that he's just having a fling.
Right. Okay, well,
she does say, though, she says something of the fact that you, like, why are you with me? You come here. I mean, it sounded to me like he comes back when he's, wants to be with her that way. And then that's why he also said, she mentions the fact of, like, you kiss all your friends, what are you doing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that they know each other, they've been hanging out, but they're not, necessarily a couple.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think the script was really clear that they weren't a couple, but he was clearly there for a specific reason, and she was more or less just going along with it. She obviously was involved, but she was more or less going along with it until it was just too much. And I really liked what Sandra said about making him more of a pusher, even more in that car ride, like having him push her to that point where she makes that U-turn, where she takes the shirt. She, get there. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we let Ken, I feel like Ken's wanted to say something for like a few minutes.
No, man. Everyone's been hitting the nail on the head. There is actually something that I did want to say though. I may have talked about this a couple of years ago, or with you guys this year. I can't fucking remember.
A couple of years ago.
Well, we don't know you that
well. Cobra Kai, yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about
Johnny Lawrence, the likable asshole.
Oh, like the guy in that
Like every time he does something, he does he's having a hard time getting it right, but they do something redeemable where it makes you feel for him. And I think maybe, I don't know, I was wondering if that was maybe the direction you were trying to go.
Totally. I was gonna ask, how like some shows in the past would have like a 2-parter opening episode? Maybe that could solve this. Like if it was, like I want every episode to be like 20-30 minutes, but maybe that first episode can be like a double episode, and that's like that second episodes where like you could hopefully see a better side of this guy.
That's not uncommon. I mean, that does happen, yeah, that does happen. Like, it's almost like a mini movie type of.
Ish. Yeah. I mean, I still want it to be a show, but maybe that, because I feel like a lot of the stuff you guys are saying is like stuff that's gonna get covered. But at the same time, I agree. Like the pilot is like kind of like a make it or break it kind of thing. So it's kind of like I'm just trying to find a way to. So I'm thinking maybe if if the first episode's a double episode or something.
Well, you're looking for like a 4-people group. Is that going to be like the Zoom group that you're?
That's
so
the Zoom
I would
group.
actually maybe focus on just 2 because Chelsea kind of got shafted in this first episode. I feel
that first episode
maybe
is
work
pretty
on
much
2
Chris and
characters, and then the second episode can be a continuation pilot with the other 2 characters.
Correct. Yeah, and you're right. You're right. It is mostly. It's like Raj you see the most, and the next.
Yeah, and I was going to say maybe focus on the relationship of the 4 main characters too in the first one, so that you get a feel for the fact that it's about the 4 of them.
Ooh, and that's
then
that point got drawn upon. That's what I'm hoping that maybe having the first episode be a double episode, because like I said, episode 2 we would see that relationship. It's already like that meeting at the end. We see more of that meeting in episode 2. It's almost like there's a little bit of a flashback jump, like to Natalie's last days at home, and then we almost like resume like Chris just going back, and then Chelsea back at work doing the double thing, and then Raj like is just miserable at this point, and then it jumps into the meeting, and that's where we really see the 4 of them. So it seems like the general consensus is like you kind of want to see that in episode 1 itself.
But that's why I was saying maybe go 2 and 2. If instead of doing like a 2-parter or whatever, have the first episode focus on 2 people, second episode on 2 other people, so that you can see those 2 people's relationships because they're the main characters.
Okay.
So you can still keep that in both episodes, even with different people. You can build that
I'll
crew of
keep that in
4
mind.
without having all 4 yet.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind. I mean, there is like I already have like stuff set in motion, so right now I'm just like thinking like, okay, how will this affect that other stuff? And that's why if I don't like change anything immediately, it's because I've already like kind of thought ahead. So that's where I'm like, it's I know I am definitely breaking some conventions. That's like I'm fully aware of that. Like I'm fully aware that it's like there hasn't been a single scene where the 4 characters are together, and that's what I think attracted me to writing this. That's what actually made me interested in writing this, the fact that it was a little bit different from what we normally see. So I am trying to pull a Tarantino and do my own thing, and I'm not Tarantino. It's like I can't get away with it yet. And that's why I'm hoping, before I make this, I make other more conventional stuff, and people go, "Oh, what more does this guy have?" And then, bam, I can present this. So it's like, so this one is like I totally I agree with everything everyone's saying when in relation to how other pilots have done it, and I'm on purpose trying to like gear this away from like the traditional, if that makes sense.
It does. I mean, it breaks the norm. It's good, and that's your vision, and that's your creativity, and
that's
nobody wants to take over that, because that's what brings in the life in a script. I mean, it's the writer, right? I mean,
and that's the only reason I was able to write it. Yeah, just because, like I said, I'm having writer's block. I'm not writing anything, so this is a thing that just kind of came out of almost like 2-3 months of not writing stuff. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been writing stuff, but it's just like it's almost like each script is like a battle to write when you're stuck at home all day. Which everyone, that's not my problem. It's everyone's problem. Like we're all like, none of us want to be in this situation.
One more thing I want to say before. Oh, sorry. Can I say something before I gotta go?
Go ahead.
Is just I don't think Raj needs any justification to be seen as a good guy. I feel like he justifies himself at the end of the first episode by hitting play, because that's clearly where his like best interest is.
Okay.
So I was gonna say, I really like that. He's kind of an ass the whole episode, ruins everything, and then he's the one to hit play. He justifies himself through.
So right now, Donald, you totally get what I'm trying to do with this. So
yeah, I really do. I think I've been Raj. I've been there. I
will send you
exactly
everything I write, so that's good. Like at least so you can help me gear this towards a direction where I can get like made or whatever. So I appreciate that, man.
I just want to say you're on the right direction for sure. I liked it a lot.
Thank you so much, man.
I gotta go, guys. Later.
I have to go too. Bye, you guys.
Bye,
Have a good week.
Bye.
Yeah, go ahead, Roots. Are you gonna?
I went blank.
Like breaking rules and stuff. Like we're talking about.
Oh no, what I was saying is, based upon 4 characters and the way you're talking about either doing a long pilot or combining the 2 episodes.
Yeah.
mean, I kind of see the challenge on it because
Yeah.
going double the amount, you have to make it so much super engaging.
Yeah.
That, you know, the audience just doesn't leave it. You know, especially you know, being a comedy, it has to be like super fast paced. It has to be just kicked in right there. And at the same time, you know, keep that anticipation.
Maybe comedy is not like Entourage isn't like super funny. I mean, it has funny scenes, but there's a story.
Yeah.
I think the reason most people watch is because it is engaging. It's like, oh, what's Vincent Chase gonna do next or whatever. Like Ari is hilarious. We all find
and
out.
that's what my point was, that instead of bringing all the 4 characters together, you know, let's say if we do 2 characters right there, and then build that anticipation for the rest of the 2 characters going forward right there for the next episode.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so that people, you know, would have that anticipation to tune in.
Totally. And I mean, that's definitely Natalie's already false.